today with our new lawn air plugger. We're with Peanut. We borrowed one of our employees' tractors to use because our Bobcats were on another job. But this is a nice little Massey Ferguson. It's made by Secchi, and it is a great little tractor, and it's the perfect size tractor to be using for lawns like this and this size of aerator. This is a 650-pound aerator. This is the first time we've tried it. Dad does his yard twice a year. Right now he's got some Bermuda that hasn't come back green from the winter yet. It's still cold. But Dad doesn't care what it is as long as it's green, and so we're going to get him in a new yard here, fescue, and then we'll come back and take a picture in about 2.5, 3 weeks when this comes up, and you'll be able to see how much difference where the holes are actually aerated of what's going to come up, because after we get through plugging, Peanut will put out the seed and the fertilizer, and then it'll all blend in and it'll melt out these what should be plugs that are going to come out. These are a new spoon that we've had designed. It's a total new piece for us. Right now we've got the 36 and the 48 with a 60 and 72 to come, but these have the all independent wheels where you can kind of turn a little bit, not tear your ground, and it simply doesn't have any of the weight that you're going to have to add to the top or drain the water, make sure it doesn't bust. And it's a one-shot deal plugger. You shouldn't have to go over it twice, simply because the penetration. Right now the ground's it's probably close to right. If anything, it's a little bit wet, so we're probably going to get a good 3.5, 4-inch plug. We'll see what we get. Go ahead, Peanut, and give it a try, and let's see what we've set the stabilizers on it also just a little bit loose where you've got a little bit of play, so if he varies from an exact straight line, that it's going to let it follow without tearing the hole. So it looks like it's going plenty deep. All right, so it is a little bit wet. Peanut's getting 4-inch plus plugs out of this. It's almost going all the way up to where the weight is, and it's a full 5 inches to the weight, and he's getting about 4.5-inch plugs. That's about as long as I've seen. The ground is just a little wetter than it would normally be when you want to plug, and that was the water meter he slowed down to go over. Those spoons are good enough that if you do go over your asphalt water meter or something, you're not going to damage these hardened tempered spoons. And so this particular implement, it's not designed for a quick attach. It could be, but there's some reasons it's not. If you're insistent on having it for a quick attach, we can make one. Right there's the water meter he's trying to go slow over. And right there's the other one. Dad has 2 water meters. One that's for the irrigation that he doesn't have to pay any sewage extra bill on, and one for the house. So even though you only have 30 inches from spoon to spoon, he's skipping the 6 inches in between the last row, so he's getting a 36-inch coverage on every pass. And the only reason we had a 36 and we built it first is because when we were buying them from Ryan, which is Lawn Air, the 48 was just so expensive you really just couldn't afford it. Dealer cost on that 36 right now, buying it through a distributor, is $2,400 plus, and that comes unassembled and plus freight. The 4-foot last time I priced it was well into the $3,000 range, and it's just more than I'm willing as a homeowner to invest since I don't do it professionally. And these pluggers are more expensive than our drum pluggers, but you get a lot more for your money, and it's something that'll last you a lifetime. They're not in the $3,000 range and $6,000 range, so you still get the exact same quality of plugger without the big price. So we're going to follow it right behind it here where you can see it in action. So he's plugging a whole lot faster than he should be, and let's go back and look and see how it came out. He's in third gear instead of first gear, and it's still leaving great plugs. And if you were able to plug that fast on a commercial job, you sure would save a lot of time. Get your production up. It's still leaving a full-size plug, and there's no reason to not be plugging fast if you can. So he's plugging at probably about 6 or 7 miles an hour, and it's leaving great plugs. This yard's a little softer than it should be. We had rain a couple nights ago, but it's just with our timing and our weather, it's what we're having to do. And see, he's leaving that 6 inches in between his last row and his new row so that he gets the full 36 inches on every pass. And at that speed, he would get a lot plugged quick. Because it's really going to take a large tractor to be able to lift our 5 or 6 footer at the weight this is per foot. That's all. That's over 200 pounds per foot. And you see there, he's able to make that turn without tearing the holes, still leaving his plugs, where a drum aerator would really need to be lifted up to make that turn. The Rhine video said they could plug up to 4 miles an hour, and in the right conditions, and this is a little bit wet, I believe we could easily plug in the 6 and 7 miles per hour range. And for this size of yard, it's better to not have a really big, heavy tractor on the lot. Okay, so after we've done our testing here today, we really like the results we've gotten. It is a little wet. We're getting a really long plug, which is okay. It's over 4 inches. We were able to see that we were able to run up to about 7 miles per hour and still get the full plug without tearing, which would be way past any other plugger I know, mainly because it just doesn't have enough weight to keep that much penetrated and that much ground speed at the same time. It needs the weight to work slower to get it in the ground that far. Now, some of the things we've done, and we've been asked about this on Tractor by Net, the hitch is fully adjustable here, and as you'll see, we've put it on the top side of this instead of out front. And this particular tractor here is almost a Class 2. In fact, it probably is a Class 2 compact. So it's bigger than would need to be used for a 36-inch plugger, but on a lot of the tractors, the subcompacts and the class 1 compacts, they need this hitch to be bringing this heavy weight as close to the tractor as possible. And even if you have a tractor that can pick it up with no problem, the closer this unit is to the tractor, the more turning you're going to be able to do without tearing the hole. Because the further it gets back, the further the implement moves. So we've put it this way on purpose. Now, we've had some people say, well, I don't buy any attachment if it's not a quick attach attachment. That's fine. We can make it a quick attach attachment if that's what you want, but you're going to lose some of the performance as you bring this back further on the ability to turn without tearing your hole. You're going to be able to turn as much as possible, but the further it gets back, the less you're going to get of that. So we like the design we've come up with. It's the first time we've used it. We're really happy that we're getting these nice big long plugs, and that's not even close to one of the longest ones. Still got the grass and all on the top of it. You can see where the roots are pulling apart right there, and there's nowhere to go but up for this spring. As soon as Peanut gets through putting out the lime and the fertilizer, there's a nice size plug. Some of them are even an inch longer than that, but it shows that once it pushes through those spoons that we had made here in America, that it was worth the effort to come up with everything that we've done to make it here in America, not get our wheels casted offshore, and to get our tines made here in America. Those tines with the tensile strength they have, even if you're going over your driveway or asphalt or something, it's not a good thing to do. It's probably going to be harder on your asphalt than it is on the tine, but they will stand it without breaking and so forth. We're really happy with all the testing we did on that tine. We went through a lot of trouble over almost a year to get the tine that we wanted with the manufacturers we were working with. So we like our final product. We will be coming up with the 5 and the 6 foot later, just because it just gets into such a weight issue on shipping. But everything will be available soon. Just give us a call or an email, and we'll be happy to help you fit the right plugger for your tractor.